Kathryn Merckel, and I'm a fourth-year PhD student in international nutrition, and I'm also, of course, a TCI scholar. And I'm happy to be here today to share with you the work that I've been doing for the past year in Uttar Pradesh on the orange flesh sweet potato. First, to give some context, I think we often lose sight of the reason why we do these types of projects, and so I just wanted to rehash a little bit about vitamin A deficiency and its urgency to be addressed as part of the international effort to eliminate micronutrient deficiencies. So this graph is showing us the percent of the population of females in Uttar Pradesh who are consuming less than 50% of the recommended dietary allowance. And as you can see, it's high for every single age group of child, and it's extremely high for the most vulnerable populations of pregnant women and lactating women who face much higher needs for vitamin A due to feeding and growing an infant child. Children who are malnourished who have vitamin A deficiency are anywhere from 2 to 8 times more likely to die from that malnutrition than those who are malnourished but don't happen to have a vitamin A deficiency. Similarly, infants who are born to mothers who face symptoms of vitamin A deficiency are more likely to die and have a higher risk of death. And the mothers themselves are more likely to die from infections, either due to childbirth or due to regular other diseases, due to vitamin A's importance in maintaining the immune system. And as we can see from the graph, one of the primary reasons for this deficiency is lack of adequacy in the diet. A lot of fresh fruits and vegetables that have vitamin A, such as fresh mango or papaya or green leafy vegetables, are highly seasonal, or they're very expensive, such as animal food products of eggs or red meats. So researchers, nutritionists, agriculturalists are looking for a way to increase the number of crops that farmers have available to them that are rich in vitamin A, and orange sweet potato has come to be one of those crops. And this idea was originally brought into East Africa, where white sweet potato is eaten as a staple crop nearly every day, and so replacing the white variety with an orange variety that's rich in beta-carotene, which is then converted to vitamin A, is a highly effective solution to addressing vitamin A deficiency. However, in North India, where our research is being done and vitamin A deficiency is very high, there's a low white sweet potato consumption. But there are orange sweet potato varieties that are excellent for the region. Farmers have a thirst for new varieties and innovation, and they see the need to diversify their crop portfolios, especially as their cereal yields are stagnating from Green Revolution efficiencies. And OFSP is also incredibly easy to grow and share between farmers. Now, in East Africa, it was found that nutritional knowledge was not highly mediating in whether or not a farmer chose to adopt orange sweet potato. However, the context of India is different. So we need to ask, will orange sweet potato be an effective solution to vitamin A deficiency in India? And given this difference in diets and this difference in cultural context, will that nutrition information be important in mediating whether or not a farmer chooses to adopt orange sweet potato as a crop? So in order to test this out, we have 15 randomly selected villages in the Maharajganj region of Uttar Pradesh, and 5 of those served as our control village and received no interventions. The 10 others were randomly assigned to either receive an intervention that focused on orange sweet potato as a crop and instructed farmers on ways to grow it and how to share it amongst themselves and ways to maintain it. The other 5 villages received the same agricultural intervention, but they also received an additional monthly village-level nutrition training where they learned information such as the importance of vitamin A for infant and young child development and proper diets for mothers when they're pregnant or lactating. And so by testing the difference between these 2 treatments, we can see whether that additional nutrition messaging impacts the uptake of orange sweet potato, both as a crop in the field and also as a new food. And we found, first of all, that as we suspected, diets in Uttar Pradesh, in this region that we were in, were very low in vitamin A. One of the most startling realizations was how infrequently children were consuming vitamin A-rich foods, such as animal source foods and plant source foods of vitamin A across their childhood, as compared to snack foods. So if you look at these red bars, you'll see that they're consuming only once or twice a week are they consuming a vitamin A-rich source of food. However, they're receiving snack foods such as potato chips, such as biscuits, every single day. and mothers report giving their children money to buy these snacks on average of 3.5 times per day. So this is a staggering amount of snacking that these children are doing on unhealthy foods. And so one of our key messages then became for the nutrition component, then became encouraging mothers to switch at least one of these snacks out for a healthy vitamin A-rich snack such as papaya, eggs, or hopefully orange sweet potato. Now, we found that information about orange sweet potato in these villages pretty much, we would say it went viral. So only maybe 50% of each village came to at least one of our events. However, when we looked at our baseline as compared to after the intervention, we found that almost everybody in the village had heard of orange sweet potato by the end of our intervention. So this was purely by word of mouth, that people were learning about orange sweet potato, that they were aware of its existence, and that they were learning about the benefits that it could have for them. Now, when we look at who actually decided to grow orange sweet potato, we see similarly that our intervention was effective in getting people to grow orange sweet potato. So at the start of the first season, we introduced the vines to farmers, and we distributed vines to any farmer who wished to grow them. However, the second season, which you can see by the dark green bar, any increase you see from first season to second season was purely due to farmers sharing it amongst themselves. So we did no new distribution of vines from the first season to the second season. And in both the agriculture-only villages as well as the ag plus the nutrition intervention villages, there was a significant increase in the adoption of orange sweet potato as a crop. Now, I don't want you to pay too much attention to the difference between the ag village and the ag plus nutrition village, because that's due to other factors that we'll get into in the next slide. But what I do want you to pay attention to is the slope of the change. So you can see that the ag and nutrition slope is slightly steeper, meaning that there was a faster adoption, a faster increase in adoption. And that's something that when we complete our baseline survey this coming January, we'll be able to see whether that's a real effect, that maybe the nutrition messaging makes it so that people are more likely to adopt it faster and it spreads in the villages faster. So what makes somebody want to adopt orange sweet potato? So if we look at all of the factors that might cause somebody, that might predict the likelihood of somebody to adopt orange sweet potato as a crop, such as whether or not they have a home garden, how much land they have, their socioeconomic class, et cetera, we find that there is actually no difference when we control for those factors between the treatment 1, the agriculture only, versus the treatment 2, which is the agriculture plus the nutrition. So, you know, what we are finding is similar to what was found in East Africa, where perhaps that additional nutrition knowledge isn't necessary to get people to adopt orange sweet potato, that it's simply a good enough crop on its own that people are wanting to try it out and wanting to bring it into their crop rotation, and that's really exciting. However, you are more likely to grow orange sweet potato if, and this is pretty much to be expected, if you have land and if you know about orange sweet potato. So that's a really exciting finding for us, because it means that simply knowing about orange sweet potato and having the physical ability to grow it means that you are more likely to adopt orange sweet potato. So looking forward, we know that maybe this nutrition education isn't vital for the adoption of it as a crop, but what about for eating it? Does knowing more about the nutritional value of the orange sweet potato mean that you're more likely to consume it more frequently, that you're more likely to prepare it for your children more often, and that you're more likely to share it and share information about it with your friends and family? We also need to look at how those people who actually did attend our events, how that impacted their likelihood of growing and consuming orange sweet potato. So is it enough to just be in a village where orange sweet potato is being grown, or do you yourself have to actually interact with the promotional materials? And then also we need to know more about what is the actual saturation point. At what point will no new people in a village adopt orange sweet potato and know that they can get it maybe at the market, or they can get it from friends or family? And then finally, how important are having friends and family who grow orange sweet potato in your choice to adopt or not? Are you more likely to adopt it if all of your friends are growing it, or do you know that you can get it from them if you need it, and so you're actually less likely to adopt? So all of these answers will give us really important information to looking at how biofortified crops such as orange sweet potato can be promoted in villages in rural India in order to decrease these micronutrient deficiencies that are so deleterious to health. And these are some photos from our first harvest, some very happy farmers. So thank you so much for your time.